Good morning. Cheers, everyone. Have some, not promoting anything, don't get paid to, but well, there it is. So, welcome to, well, my attempt to end this thing and get it over and done with so I can carry on with my, another one series I'm doing. So, we're up to number 3 on the Hammer Horror Dracula movies list, and I think this one's possibly going to be a bit uncomfortable there. This one's going to be possibly a bit of a controversial choice, but it's, like I say, it's just subjective. It's just my opinion as it is. Just trying to get these things done. So at number 3 on this list, I have put, controversially, 1970s Taste the Blood of Dracula. I hear you. I know there's a lot of people that have watched this film that don't think it's very good. In fact, some people hate this movie. I've seen this. Heard something moving there. There's nothing in this room. Anyway, I've seen some people put this film at last place in terms of their Dracula list. They've actually said this is, to them the worst Dracula film. I've got something in my pocket here. What is this? Oh, it's a brain rot. Yeah, grown man carrying that around. Got this on holiday, to be honest. Not sure what it's meant to be. Its legs are coming off. It's a frog's head, a tyre, and a pair of legs that are slowly coming off because I've been in my pocket. Very strange. Anyway, this one I've seen at the bottom of many people's lists. A lot of people don't like it, and I don't get it. I don't get the hate for it. I mean, I've put this at number 3 on my favourite Dracula films from Hammer. This is my 3rd favourite one. This one is a direct continuation from Dracula's Risen from the Grave. It starts off exactly as that one ends and continues the story. And I tell you why I like this film. Firstly, the way it looks. This has that same sort of gritty visual style that Scars has, but on a much bigger budget. It just looks good, but it doesn't look like a gothic fairy tale. It looks gritty, it looks urbanised, it looks believable. This one takes place in London. So, Dracula's remains have been taken from Transylvania to London, and we get a very different, more modern glimpse of society. It's still steeped in late 1800s, early 1900s sort of visuals. It feels a little later, especially the houses, the way they look and stuff, but it's a different place. It's England, and there's something about it that just looks very gritty and dark. It's particularly well framed. Like I say, it's not the beautiful visual spectacle that the other early Hammer ones are. Just messing around with that. But it is a film that I like the look of it very much. I particularly like the way Christopher Lee's framed here. Christopher Lee was a tall guy. He was like 6'4", and he's framed here in a way that makes him look even bigger. And particularly sort of like revitalising youth. I mean, Christopher Lee allegedly really did not want to do this film. They filmed the first half of this without him anyway, and the film was meant to star. It has Ralph Bates, who was then Hammer's new sort of thing. Oh, I'm fedding with stuff on this. He was Hammer's new character, but the studio allegedly wouldn't complete the funding for this film if Christopher Lee wasn't in it. So he agreed because he didn't want production to be wasted. And if you ask me, he looks more energised, revitalised, scarier and more menacing here than in any film other than the original. There's something about the way he's shot, and he just looks and acts genuinely menacing. On top of that, whilst Scars of Dracula is definitely their most violent and bloody, this is the darkest Dracula movie that Hammer ever made. In fact, I'd go as far as to say this is the darkest vampire film they ever made. Because effectively what happens is Ralph Bates' character has taken the ashes or the remains of Dracula, and he's got this sort of like little sort of club going on. And there's these 3 gentlemen who are all the very definition of sort of like prejudice and intolerance and double standards. There's these guys led. I can't remember the name of the guy. Was it Jeffrey something? The guy who leads them. They basically tell their wives and their daughters how to dress and how to behave and how to speak, and they act like upper class members of society. but they're deep down really, really horrible, despicable human beings, brilliantly acted, and the double standards of how the women folk are meant to be. I mean, the leader of them is actually even a bit incestuous and stuff, and how he expects them to act and dress and behave compared to how they behave. There's a level of moral study here, and it's analysing double standards and hypocrisy in this sort of like time, and it's conveying a message. It's tackling themes that none of the other Draculas tackled. And when Dracula eventually returns, he targets these guys by using their children against them, which is just really dark. And he's basically getting his revenge on them in a way that's very, very visceral and very dark. I mean, this isn't as gruesome as Scars of Dracula, but this is certainly, I would say, the most violent of the Draculas other than Scars, and certainly the darkest. And I just really like the storytelling and what it's getting. I love the look of it, the message it conveys. And I mean, yes, Dracula here isn't in the film a lot. He's more of a presence than a character, but I just think when he's on screen, his presence is particularly noteworthy, and it has something to say. It's just so refreshingly different to all the other Dracula films. There's also a lot to be said about, I mean, this is another one where the main hero's Paul. The main sort of heroine or hammer girl here, she wasn't in too many. She was in Blood on Satan's Claw, which I think was an Amicus movie. I always get Amicus and T-Gun confused with what they put out. I know Amicus mainly did compilations, and T-Gun did a couple of films, but I'm sure that was an Amicus movie. But she was very young. She was only 16 in this film. And in the film she did the year before, she played this seductive schoolgirl, which she basically would have been. But she was a solid actress and really good in this film. And yeah, just another one of those hammer girls who had a great sort of chemistry on screen. I actually like the main lead of Paul more than the one before or after. I just think he's a better character. And the main thing that people seem to get about this film is the ending. Now, the ending of this is weird, and I think it's more the fact that they didn't explain it, because basically Dracula gets trapped inside a desecrated church, and then the church springs to life, and he's effectively killed by God. It's all a bit weird though, because he just sees and hears choirs and looks at the windows, and then just dies, just dissolves. I don't find this a bad ending to the film, because I think Dracula's been killed by people a number of times up to this point. You know, he was trapped in ice in Prince of Darkness, and then he fell off his own house effectively onto a cross in Dracula's Risen from the Grave. And in some of the other ones, he either walks into a bush or he falls into a pit, he gets electrocuted. There's got to come a point where whoever's killing Dracula, if it's not Van Helsing and he was the main one, it doesn't bode well for me to just have any random hero killing Dracula as if he's just a normal baddie. And the fact that it's God that kills Dracula, so even though it's not very well explained, it's not very well handled, makes far more sense and makes it a better death, because at least it's divine intervention. Good is destroying Dracula, the power of prayer and the power of God and whatever you want. I just think that's a better thing to kill Dracula off than just Dracula falling onto something because somebody's pushed him that 2 hours ago didn't know existed. I just find that better. It's not what I would say a great ending. It doesn't explain itself, but at least it, within the context of the story, I think does better justice to the character of Dracula than just him being murdered by another person. So yeah, that's really what I want to say about this. I think this is for the most part, a great message, and it's just a darker, really interesting one. I think personally this is the most underrated of all of the Dracula sequels, and yeah, it's my third favourite film in the series. So make of that what you will, but I really, really like this. I think it's a genuinely great film. I would give this a 4 out of 5. Like I say, it's subjective. I know there's plenty of people who think Dracula's not in it much, and that ending makes no sense, and they don't like the way it's filmed. I totally get it, but for me, I love this movie. I think it's really, really great. It's my third favourite Dracula one. I prefer it to all of the films I've mentioned. I prefer this over Prince of Darkness, which I know to some people is just mad, but yeah, just great film.